Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the latest episode of The Bad Batch. So this episode was a little bit different than all the others we've dealt with so far, because it was a little bit of a takeaway of the story. The closest thing I think we've had to how do I want to phrase it? Because I don't want to go as far to say as this being a filler episode, because there was some plot points pushed a little bit. I don't think it was a major plot moving episode for sure. So this was episode 8 of The Bad Batch, and the episode is basically them trying to figure out more about what the M count is and trying to figure out why the Empire wants Omega so badly. So they find out that there are bounty hunters who are hunting down people who have high M counts. And there's only one bounty hunter that they know personally. And the only reason why they know her is because she was the one to go after Omega um, earlier in the series. So, um, one of the big things here is um, I do apologize. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Fennec Shad, I believe is how you say her name. I always forget. But anyway, she was also the one from The Mandalorian and also Book of Boba Fett. So she decides that the only way that she is going to give them the information that they want is that she needs them um, to work with her. So before all that, it is decided that only Hunter and Wrecker are going to go and talk with her because they do not want Omega being seen by anybody else. And the reason for it is because they are afraid that Omega is going to be kidnapped once again. So it's easier for her to stay with Crosshairs. So I'll go quickly over about what Omega and Crosshairs deals with, and apparently it's a lot of psychological stuff that Crosshairs has had to deal with. So apparently his hand movement is not a physical issue in the sense of he was scanned and everything else, and there is nothing physically wrong with him. However, Omega thinks it's something mental that is really messing with his mind. And so she's trying to teach him meditation that she learned from a Wookiee, specifically a force using Wookiee, which is hilarious to me because what they're looking for is high M counts and understanding what that means when they've already met somebody with a high M count. So, that being said, um, Hunter and Wrecker meet with her, Fennec Shand, and that's when she says that you're going to have to help her get her bounty. And this creature is very much looking like a large, um, oh my gosh, praying mantis. I lost my train of thought for a second. And one of the big things here is she wants them to do all the work. She gets all of the money, and then she will get the information. She will give them the information that they need. So during their trip there, this looks like very much like a swamp area. Very different than what the other areas in Star Wars we've noticed, in my personal opinion. Um, but that being said, we see her get a boat and everything else, and they start going on. She wants Hunter because of his keen senses, and Wrecker because he's an explosives expert. So as they're floating down the river, um, Hunter recognizes that there's mines in there, and so both Wrecker and Hunter go down into the water, and they start and they notice that there are I don't want to say 100 because that is a lie, but it is significant amount, like almost in the 20s, of the amount of mines that are in there. So they suggest that they should go around the long way. And that's when she goes, of course, that's what he would want us to do. It'd make more sense to defuse these mines and then keep going forward. So they start defusing the mines, and that's when these alligator like creatures start swimming towards them, and they start getting attacked. Wrecker is taking them out pretty easily. Now, he's not killing them, but he's definitely beating them up enough to cause some damage. So the three of them are trying to attack all these creatures to get them away, and they do a decent job doing so. So they attack all these things and they finally get down the river. And that's when they see the creature. So Hunter and Wrecker go after him and they get beat up pretty bad. The creature then escapes, but she's aware of this. So she actually attacks his boat. So that's when all three of them are start attacking this creature and they finally stun him enough to take him out. So she gets him all wrapped up in a nice pretty bow and she goes to take him back. So Hunter explains to her that he's ready to get the information he's looking for, and she says she doesn't have it. And he's like, "That's not part of our deal." She goes, "You're gonna have to trust me, because realistically, I can get you that information that you need, but I'm gonna need some time. Plus, I gotta go collect my bounty first." They're not happy about it, but they decide against it, against going against her. I mean, so she takes off, and she sends a message to somebody who states that the Bad Batch, a group of clones, are trying to understand what the high M count targets are like. And we don't know who she's talking to. I have my guess, but I'll tell you that later. But the conversation ends with, "I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find them without a problem." So I think it's Ventress. She's been hinted at for this entire season, especially because she was in the trailer. So my guess would be that that's who she was talking to. Although it's tough to say that it was her because my assumption would be that she's dead at this point. But I'm not 100% sure. Timelines are wonky, especially at this time. But overall, we're gonna find out who that bounty hunter is, or whoever it is that Fineshad actually talked to, and they're going to be hunting down the Bad Batch. And I think that alone is going to allow the Empire to know where the Bad Batch is. So it's a little bit of a cycle going on. But very curious to see where it's going to go for the future. I know there's only 7 episodes left, so a lot is going to be happening in this short amount of time. But I'm definitely curious to see where it's going to go. Overall, let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you not? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe down below. This is going to be Beastly Eel signing out, and have a great night.